So we are so blessed today to have Karan Angel with us, and we welcome her with a big circle welcome and with immense gratitude. The topic she will share with us today is Awaken Yourself, Awaken the World. As our country makes its way through the current growing pains, each of us as individuals has a chance to create change, to help the country and the world become the better place we would like to see. Today's message will offer hope as well as instruction for each soul to engage in change. Each of us is a cosmic boss, directing change in a specific manner. We are eternal lights. Shining our personal light through awakening encourages others to shine theirs. The domino effect takes place and the world changes. Spiritual helpers will channel in messages pertinent for our gathering today and beyond. So far, Archangel Metatron has indicated he will be speaking, as will Saint Padre Pio and Saint Ganesha. There may be others who join in. We shall see who will be joining us. If you've been around this community, you know Karan, but for those unfamiliar with Karan, Karan Tumasz, sorry if I butchered that, has been working professionally as a mystic for nearly 30 years. The divine, the angels, masters, saints, guides, and ancestors have been guiding her in her work from her youth. She has helped countless individuals connect spiritually and gain insight during their quest to discover themselves, their mission, and their purpose. In other areas, Karan has 2 beautiful daughters, an amazing son-in-law, has worked in education and in business, and has a beautiful boxer named Charlie. So we offer a warm circle welcome to Karan Angel. Thank you so much for sharing yourself with us today and your messages. Very grateful.
Thank you. I want to say that I'm always excited when I get to do something with Circle, because I actually worked with Hannelore since like 1989, possibly. So loads and loads of years before she had a space, before anything was going on. And it's just so nice to see her work has blossomed and continues to blossom. So when Ken asked me to talk, I was like, yes. Usually he asks me, but I get pretty booked up pretty quick. So I'm really excited to be here today. And Elaine, I want to thank you for that prayer that you read this morning, because the one part of it where it says the possibility of goodness is really what my talk today is about. The angels, the saints, the guides, the masters, they've all been talking about how it begins with one person. So many people are running through fear. And part of that is because we truly are all connected. And I think everyone here knows that, but we're singular in our physical bodies, but we are connected spiritually with everybody, everything in this world and beyond. So while people are going through different things like fear and anxiety at this time, and they're like, well, I'm not usually anxious, why do I feel this way? It's because we're connected and we're collecting everybody's thoughts. So we don't just have our thoughts about what's going on now. We have the thoughts of people from Italy, from Israel, from everywhere all over the world. And everybody's thinking a little bit of the same thing. So it makes it a little heavier on us. And so the angels, especially Metatron, they've been saying that we work on ourselves and make ourselves brighter, and then we make the world brighter. Because as soon as you increase your light, you're going to increase the light of the person next to you. You're going to increase the light of the people that you're truly physically connected with. And then that light is also going to go out to other people. This is not new teaching, but it's pertinent for right now. And remembering that as we work on ourselves, even though we're sequestered, even though we can't go to the circle to have fun all together, even though we have all of that going on, by staying true to ourselves and our spiritual selves and continuing to grow in light and love, we're going to change the world. We can create change all through everything just by focusing on your light, your personal light within, and making that brighter. Because when your light is bright, and this is from Metatron, when your light is really bright, if you think of a politician, you connect with them, whether you realize it or not. You're not just someone, one of the minions over there that they don't pay any attention to. The energy does reach them. You do not have to see them in person. You do not have to do a lot of things. All you need to do is connect through the cosmos, because we are cosmic bosses. We have, according to Kabbalah teaches that 1% of what we see around us is reality, and 99% is the actual reality. So it's what goes on through our thoughts and through our spirituality that creates the change. And so as soon as you think of someone, if your light's bright, you're sending them light. No matter, hopefully you're not thinking negative things about them, but your light is bright and you're going to help create a change. And that's why for millenniums, prayer has been so strong, because prayer focuses on a specific divine light. And it doesn't matter what you're praying for, it's just that vibration is one of healing. Same thing if you're sending healing energy out, if you're doing Reiki or pranic healing or IET or any of the healing modalities that are out there. You're sending a healing energy, and the healing energy doesn't know, I'm just going to heal this one thing. It works on healing everything. So when your thoughts are positive and you send them out there, okay, you're not just healing that one thing or whatever you're thinking of. It's expansive. It's as big as the cosmos. It's creating change. And when like people come together, then we have bigger change. So you can decide to do this with others, or you can do it with yourself. It's still going to create change. And Metatron, he wrote that write-up that Elaine was so kind to read again, because this morning I went online and I looked at the thing so I could share it with my people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wrote that? No, I didn't write it. They told me this is what you're going to do at Circle. Good thing I looked at it. I would have never realized what I was doing today. But they're really working. And if you're here today, it's because one of these saints has called you to be here. Either Metatron has called you to be here today, or St. Padre Pio, who really helps in the physical world, has called you to be here today, or Ganesha. And if Ganesha has called you in, it's because you may be struggling maybe with some financial stuff that's going on, or maybe you just feel down on your luck, or in any area of your life. So he also is calling people in so that you can link in to the cosmic energy of positivity, of good health, of good wealth, of community, and of love that's out there for everybody to receive at any time. And Padre Pio is really there to strengthen you in your physical resolve, because a lot of things start with thought. And that's how we grow ourselves, is through our thought that, okay, I'm going to do a meditation, a thought that I just want everyone in the world to love each other, a thought that I wish there was nonviolence everywhere. So just those thoughts can help create such a light out there. So do not think for one moment that you are not important in all that's going on in the world, because everybody here today is extremely important. So, and Padre Pio is coming in now, and he's always got a lot of words of wisdom, but he is especially working with everyone. He's showing me that he's going to each person and he's adding a little bit of strength to every one of your chakras, everyone, including all of your levels. So we have many levels. We're multi-level, multi-dimensional beings. And he is going and putting strength into every chakra on all your levels. So that's pretty amazing, because he is a darn good healer. And Metatron is back now, and Metatron is just showering. Actually, he's showering and infusing love vibration. He's showering and infusing 3 different colors into everyone that's here today. The first is gold, and gold is going through you as if you have, like if you're a pipe and you go up through all your levels, gold is coming down through there. The showering that's going on around is like little starbursts and little star things that are sparkling. That has some blue, some pink in there. Very, very interesting, because all of those are the colors that are going to help you just to lift a little. Just even looking at those colors, it may not come into your mind, but from now on, when you look at those colors, it'll activate, because they've put this in you now, or a download. I think people use that word a lot. When you see gold, when you see the blue, when you see the pink, okay, it's going to reactivate the vibration that's coming to you from these different masters that are on all the different levels. Okay. I've got to ask Glenda, how am I doing on time? Because I could talk forever.
Oh, you're good. You've got at least 10 more minutes.
I was thinking I was at about 10 minutes. Okay. So what can you do as you are working to awaken yourself? And one of the things that they tell me all the time is that no matter how awakened you think you are, you can be a little more awakened. And if we're still here on earth, we still have work to do, even if that work is just adding love to the world, which a lot of times that's what our work is. So one of the things that you can do is just, and these things for a lot of you guys, I know it's just a repeat, but take it just as a reminder. Fill yourself with light, white light or gold light. White light helps cleanse. It clears the negativity. If you're walking around with what I call a hater on, like you hate everything, you've got a hater on, okay, white light helps cleanse that negativity. If you're walking around and feeling less vibrant, like you have less energy than normal, then you want to use gold light, because gold light is considered a total healer color, and that just kind of revs you up a little bit. Okay, so now Archangel Michael has come in, and he says a lot of you guys work with him already. He is taking his sword, and he is actually kind of tapping everybody on the head, up on the head, not the third eye, but up on the head, kind of like knighting you, I guess. And with that, he is, just a second, because they give me feelings and I have to put it into English. So what he's doing is he's putting a shield around you, not so things can't get out or get in, but just to kind of keep that strength in there for a while. And he is also reminding everybody that all you need to do with any of the guides, any of the angels, any of the spiritual beings that you work with, all you need to do is think of them, and they are there instantly, because time is not the same in the other areas. Okay, time is not the same. When they can be, Archangel Michael can hit 1 million people in a nanosecond and take care of a lot of things, because time just doesn't exist the same. So where we're thinking, well, how can he be with me and all these 30 people here and get all this done at the same time? Well, because his time is totally different. So he is working also he's working on cutting out any negative thoughts, any little fears, because even though as spiritual as we all are, sometimes we look at things and we're like, oh, what if that happens? So he's working on removing that from a lot of people today too. Okay. He is, and he says that he works with everybody anyway. So there's also one of the other things that you can do besides light is just focusing on your breath. How simple is that, right? We forget that everything's meant to be easy. We weren't put here to really struggle. We like to struggle because, you know, it's like we're going to I liken it to going to an amusement park when we come down to earth. Some of the rides are not so much fun and they're scary. Some of them are pretty fun. But the other thing is just focusing on your breath. If you really think about it, when you inhale, no matter what, you're inhaling positive energy because you can't live if you don't inhale. So you're always inhaling positive energy. You're always exhaling and releasing negative. You're releasing what you don't need. So focusing on your breath. If you have a hard time, some people have a hard time visualizing light coming into them or light being around them for any amount of time, but you can always focus on your breath. The other thing that they have mentioned, and they remind me over and over again, you don't need to do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You can do it for 30 seconds. Focus on your breath for 30 seconds. Focus on white light for 30 seconds. Focus on gold light, 30 seconds. You do not need a lot of time. It's instant. We think of it and it happens. But as humans, we want to, we want to drag it out a little bit. We want to be in the full experience. But we already are in the full experience. We forget that. We miss that sometimes. Okay. They've also been really, really sending thank yous to everybody, immense thank yous to the spiritual communities for helping, because everything that's going on, there's always positive and negative, there's always plus and minuses. And they are really thanking everyone for the extra healing that everyone in this community and other communities are working on sending out into the world, because there are a lot of people, there's a lot of souls that cannot or are not aware of attaching to light. So when you work on keeping your light brighter and stronger, you actually help many, many other people. So they have been sending thank yous, and pay attention, because they say some of you have been getting your thank yous and you're not necessarily aware, but they want to help you be aware that your little thank yous, like a surprise parking space or a surprise day with a friend or any of these little things that bring you joy that you're surprised about. These are little things that the cosmos and the universe are preparing for you in thanks. So whenever something like that happens, realize that one of your angels, one of your guides, someone out there in the cosmos, God, whatever you see up there, is definitely bringing you a little bit of joy, because joy is what nullifies the negativity. Joy truly, truly nullifies it. So when we work from a state of joy, which is a little different than a state of love, okay? When we work with a state of joy, we automatically expand healing light everywhere. And I mean everywhere. So much like trees and branches and all of that, a tree has many limbs and many branches. We're all like that. We're all connected in that way. And we are connected also beyond this world. Okay, they're definitely the ETs, the different masters and guides that reside on the 6th through 13th levels. There's so many different beings. We're also connected with all the animals and all of that. So they've been saying thank you to everybody, because if you think of something kind, whether it's kind to a person, kind to an animal, kind to a flower, that kindness expands. And that is one of the ways to move into joy. But joy is actually the strongest vibration that quickly can change and remove fear from people and add that possibility of goodness. Okay, so how am I doing now, Glenda? Where am I at? Keep going. Okay.
Yeah, actually, you had a little more time when I said 10 minutes. You still got another 10 minutes, actually.
I have 10. Oh, see how good they are. They stop time for us. So
Questions, whatever works.
Oh, do we want to go? Does anyone have questions? This is a good time for questions. It's more earthly, and orange also is considered one of the lower vibrations, although orange, when it's gold or it's brighter, brings in a lot of success for people. But red also is the color of pain. If you've done any studying with the Kirlian photography or thermography or anything like that, whenever they photograph pain, they photograph using energy, it shows up as red. So while some people have a lot of red, because it's also aggression and it's a lot of power, red's a great thing. If you're running out of energy, throw some red on, but beware, because also every part of you is going to be red. You know, they say seeing red for a reason.
Oh,
so I'm not surprised that you have an issue when the red may not align with you.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. I'm also, one of the other things that they were talking about with this awaken yourself and awaken the world is to understand that you can also choose a part of the world that you would like your energy to be sent to. You can choose that as I awaken myself, I wish for this area to be awakened. And you may even feel that they call you to do that. There's a lot of times that the angels, the guides, the masters have come in and requested on messages nights for someone to pray or send energy to a certain part of the world. And not everyone, sometimes they ask for everyone to do it, but there's often times when they ask for just one person. So if you feel a pull to anything, this also can be anywhere in your country, in your hometown, in your state, wherever. If you feel a pull for energy to go somewhere, understand that you're being called to do that. We all wonder about what our purpose is. And our purpose truly is to live in joy and expand as much light out there to everyone. It doesn't matter what your job is, what your career is, how you help people. It just matters that you let that joy vibration out and direct it. So if you're willing to direct it, it'll go where it's needed. And if you just ask, you'll just get an idea. A lot of times they just send stuff right through our heads really fast. Like sometimes catching those ideas is tough. Catching on to, well, oh, you want me to do that? And then boom, it's gone as quick. But when we focus on joy and just work it out there, let's say you read some story about some horrific thing going on, and you'll find that that suddenly becomes a mission for you, or that you're really attached to it and you want to send energy. That is definitely your guides and part of your life purpose. It's definitely part of your life purpose. Whatever you feel coming from your heart is going to help. And following that always changes the world. When we follow what we really want to do, what's really true in our hearts, we change the world. That's part of awakening ourselves. Part of the awakening also, and this is through many of the mystical teachings, is that when you become truly immersed in the world, it's not about going and hiding in a cave, okay, and learning all the great mystical things. It's about being able to work in the world with everybody else that's in the world with us, and keep your light as bright as possible and allow that to share. There's a difference they've been explaining to me over the past few years. There's a difference between light walkers and light workers, okay? And they're moving as we evolve. And understand that all of the folks on Earth, so people are like, oh, the Earth's gonna end. It's not gonna end until every soul that's here evolves into light and love. So this world's going to be here for a long time. Doesn't mean parts of it aren't going to have some problems, but it's going to be here for a long time. So a light walker carries light and leaves light wherever they go, and they're aware that that's what they're doing. A light worker works with their light only at certain times and doesn't really, they're both important. They're both just different. They're a different vibration, and both are so needed. The light workers are so needed, but many of the light workers have evolved into light walkers. So a light walker, and this is where they talk about awaken yourself and awaken the world, because a light walker will be able to kind of stay in their house and change the world. But when they go out, the light is there. So I'll give you an example of a light walker. And I'm sure that everybody on this call is going to notice what I'm talking about and has experienced this. You ever go in the store and nobody's there? Well, not during COVID, okay. But before COVID, you ever go in the store and nobody's there and all of a sudden there's all these people come in right after you? Okay. That's the light. The light is calling them. Okay. I've learned, and I know some of my colleagues have learned, that we don't think about where we're going if we just want to go and have like kind of a personal experience and maybe be able to browse without a lot of people near us. Because I know as soon as I think it, the light's already going there before I get there, because we live in the past, the present, and the future all now. We live in all of this right now. So I think about, I'm going to that store, and I get there and suddenly, you know, there's all these people there. There's a big long line because they got a hint that the light's going there, so off they go. I'm not saying that I am this wonderful light thing. I am just saying this is something I've noticed, and I've noticed it with many other people that do this work too. You go somewhere, I went to a bakery during COVID and I couldn't believe there was nobody there. It was a last minute thing. So I just run over. I'm like, oh, they're open. I run in to get some goodies. And as I'm checking out, I turn around and the line now is around the counter with the 6 feet thing, out the door, down a couple of stores. And I'm like, oh, here we go. This is how you are a light walker. That's how you know you've transitioned to not just a light worker. You're still a light worker, but you're also a light walker. And if you're aware that you're a light walker, you consciously anchor the light wherever you go. Consciously. You know that wherever you go, if you got to go out in public, there's going to be some people that aren't happy. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever go back to the shop right up the street because I got PTSD from going there after COVID started. But you know, wherever you go, especially if you're going in public, but if you take that light with you and you keep your light strong, you definitely can change that vibration. We've all walked into rooms that aren't a lot of, that have maybe some heavy energy, and then saw that energy change. Or we've left because the light isn't matching ours. But just imagine if you focus on being a light walker, how you change the light everywhere you go, in the banks, in the grocery stores, at the movies, anywhere you go, you're going to change the vibration. You may leave just a little drop, but just that little drop of light that you left there. Okay, people are going to go and they're going to feel that and they're going to want it and they're going to start changing. It's not apparent. We don't see a change like that. Boom. We don't say, oh, look, so-and-so was at this place and now everyone that goes there is full of light all of a sudden. We see it once in a while. There's a lot of holy places that are like that. It's because the light walkers went there and continually go there and feed that light. So there's like Sedona, okay? A lot of light walkers go there. And there's a lot of different energies there. But when you go there, you feel the vibration. Czestochowa and Doylestown, whether you're Catholic or whatever you are, just go there and stand on the land once in a while. It's amazing. The vibration is exactly the same as any of the other holy places around the world, because I've been to a lot of them. And I'm like, oh, I don't need to go anywhere anymore. I can just go to Czestochowa when I need a good shot of something and be outside. And that's because of all the different people going there to different healings. The light just evolves. It just grows and it stays there. Remember, energy doesn't change, okay? It transforms into something else, but it doesn't die. Energy doesn't die. So you can transform your negative energy into positive energy. You're still going to have the same amount of energy. Okay, it's just transformed. And that's one of the things that they're talking about. They would like everyone to just kind of awaken yourself to brighter, to more joy, and kindness. Kindness is really important. And by doing that and awakening yourself to where you can be kinder, awakening yourself to where you can allow yourself to have more joy. A lot of people think, oh, we just got to keep working, we can't have any joy. And where you can allow yourself to go and drop some light is going to create the change that we need. And by doing this in our country, in our space, in our cities, in our towns, it's going to expand, because the people that we come in contact with, even if we're just 3 feet close, osmosis happens and your energy shares. Okay, you get some of theirs, they get some of yours. But those people may be attached to people that are across the world, and that light is going to be shared. If you can see the light going out like an umbrella and going around the world too. And that's also a good way to share. But whatever we do to advance ourselves, we do to advance everybody, every soul, every person on the planet. And I mean everybody, even the people you don't like. Everybody gets some of that light. So we work a lot to do that. Okay? All right, so now, any questions? Of course we can do that. My problem is I never think of it. So it's, I remember, and I really never paid attention, but I was in Macy's with my daughter and she needed to use the restroom. So we went into the restroom, which was way in the back of the store. There's like nobody around. And then all of a sudden, all these people come in and she yells from the stall, I'm outside, she yells, Mom, do you have to do that in here too? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I realized that she meant I was pulling people in, which I wasn't doing on purpose, because I was just having a good time with my daughter. I wasn't thinking about, okay, we have to go in the bathroom and I want to manifest so nobody's in there. But it definitely, the more mindful you are about what you're doing, because we are cosmic bosses, we can plan every minute of our lives. Now, there's free will, and there's other people who are also planning our lives for us. So sometimes you need to take that into consideration. But whatever you can visualize, you actualize. So visualize what you want, and you can definitely manifest going to the store. I really forget. Like when I go to the movies, I'll go to the movies and I'll sit down, and there'll be 10 people in the theater and they all come and sit by me. And I don't sit in the middle, and and I always laugh at that. Okay, do we have another question? That's why they asked me to speak on this today, because it's most important to start with yourself first, to make sure that you're light, that you are clear with yourself, that you are comfortable with yourself, that you are doing with what you feel is best for you. Best for you. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. We heard our parents say it for so long, right? Now, if they would have added all the spiritual teachings with it, maybe we would have stuck with it. But seriously, worry about what's right for you, because the information that's coming out is almost always opinion. And we know through science and hypnosis and things like that, that we can have 6 people witness something and all 6 are going to see it in a totally different way. They're going to notice different aspects of it. They're going to feel differently about it. They're going to maybe see a different culprit. So the first thing to do really is to take care of yourself. And is the light making a change? It absolutely is making a change. And that's why this is so heavy, because the light is working. And when the light is working, just like we all know, when we're ready to make a change in our lives, and maybe those around us are like, you're doing what? No, you can't do that. And we hit resistance. So we're hitting resistance because the light has been working in the world. All right. So understand that what you're doing is extremely important. And when we look at the 99% of reality that we can't see because of where we are here on Earth in our physical bodies, we are making changes. We are cosmic bosses. We are definitely creating change. All right. Now, we all know to create change, a lot of times there's some unrest. You know, just like when you're going from being a negative person to being a positive person, the negative will keep trying to pull you back in. Wait a minute, we're going to miss you. Come back here.